city versus the suburbs? This is a big question, especially for parents. I interviewed someone recently for my podcast who said she swore that she was never going to leave her cool urban neighborhood even after she had kids because she did not want the minivan and the house in the suburbs. But then she realized after she had kids the struggle that she was going through living in the city and how much easier life would have been in the suburbs. Now, that doesn't mean that's true for everyone, but in her situation, she had family in the suburbs and her job made things easier in the suburbs. And there was a whole lot of reasons. You know, people have more space, and there's a lot of reasons why life can be easier with less friction if you go from one place to another. It doesn't mean that you have to do it or you should do it, but it does mean that just because your vision was always one way when you lived without kids, it doesn't mean that you should keep that vision the same even after you have kids, even if you swore that you wouldn't change, because you don't really know what you don't know, right? Tonight, I was at an event in the city, and I live in the suburbs. And in Chicago, I've never actually lived in the city. I've lived in other cities. I've lived in Los Angeles and Denver and Miami, but in Chicago, I've always lived in the suburbs. And so when I go to an event in the city, yes, it's a pain. It took like an hour and a half during rush hour on the way back. When it wasn't rush hour, it didn't take as long. But I'm at this event with all these people who live in the city, and they're going on and on about, oh my gosh, you're driving all the way back to Naperville? That's so far. I'm like, it's not Iowa. I can go back to the suburbs tonight. So it's all in your perspective. And the most important thing is to realize that your vision can change, and it's okay to be flexible, right? It's a woman's prerogative to change her mind. So if you realize that some vision that you had and something that you had swore that you would stick to is not serving you now, it's okay to change and do what brings you ease in life, because ease means less stress, and less stress means less mental load and more happiness that you can then enjoy with your children. And that's what you want, is to have more time and more happiness with your kids. And if you need childcare while you're working or doing other things, we can help you with that at momsub.com.